CDL Practice Test, Florida, Combination Vehicles, Part 5. Question number 102. You are uncoupling a trailer. After you shut off the trailer air supply and lock the trailer brakes, you should A. Immediately apply your tractor parking brakes. B. Begin to lower the trailer landing gear. C. Back up gently to ease pressure on the fifth wheel locking jaws. The correct answer is here, C. Back up gently to ease pressure on the fifth wheel locking jaws. Explanation. When uncoupling, ease pressure on the fifth wheel locking jaws by backing up gently, open bracket. This will help you release the fifth wheel locking lever, then apply the parking brakes while the tractor is pushing against the kingpin. Question number 103. Which of the following is the best action you could take when the parking brakes don't release? A. Change the service and emergency airline connections because they're broken. B. Report it to a supervisor at your earliest convenience. C. Don't use the spring brakes for any reason. D. Check the airline connections. The correct answer is here, D. Check the airline connections. Explanation. Sometimes, the service and emergency airlines can be switched up, so you need to check the airline connections to ensure that the airlines are connected to the right places. If not, then the air used to release the parking spring brakes will not be available. Question number 104. You should not use the trailer handbrake to straighten out a jackknifing trailer, because A. The brakes on the trailer wheels cause the skid in the first place. B. The brake handle is too hard to reach. C. The brakes on the trailer wheels will not respond to the handbrake. The correct answer is here, A. The brakes on the trailer wheels cause the skid in the first place. Explanation. The trailer hand valve, also known as a trolley valve or Johnson bar, controls only the trailer brakes, not the tractor brakes. If you're already jackknifing because the trailer wheel's locked up, applying the trailer brakes with the hand valve can make it even worse. Instead, stop braking. The rear wheels will start to roll again and you can steer to correct the skid. Question number 105. When should the trailer hand valve, trolley valve or Johnson bar be used? A. When the trailer is in a skid jackknife. B. During normal mountain driving. C. When driving on snow ice. D. When testing trailer brakes. The correct answer is here, D. When testing trailer brakes. Explanation. The trailer hand valve operates only the trailer brakes. It should only be used to test the trailer brakes. Do not use the trailer hand valve while driving. This could cause the trailer brakes to lock up and cause a skid and/or jackknife. Do not use the trailer hand valve to straighten out the trailer during a jackknife. This will make a bad situation worse. Question number 106. After coupling, make sure that the airlines are not crossed. How should you do this? A. Turn off the engine and listen for the release of air as you apply the brakes. B. Adjust the air supply knob to send air to the trailer brakes and check if the air pressure normalizes. C. Adjust the air supply knob to send air to the trailer brakes. Turn off the engine once the air pressure normalizes. Then listen for the sound of escaping air as the brakes are released. The correct answer is here, C. Adjust the air supply knob to send air to the trailer brakes. Turn off the engine once the air pressure normalizes. Then listen for the sound of escaping air as the brakes are released. Explanation. After coupling, make sure that the air lines are not crossed. To do this, send air to the trailer brakes by adjusting the air supply knob to normal. Let the pressure normalize. Then turn off the engine and test the brakes. You should see and hear the brakes in action and then see the air pressure normalize again. Question number 107. How should you test the tractor semi-trailer connection for security? A. Put the tractor in gear and pull ahead with a sharp jerk. B. Rock the trailer back and forth with the trailer brakes locked. C. Pull gently forward in low gear against the locked trailer brakes, then look at it carefully. The correct answer is here, C. Pull gently forward in low gear against the locked trailer brakes, then look at it carefully. Explanation. After you've backed under the trailer and locked the kingpin into the fifth wheel, raise the landing gear slightly, then with the trailer brakes still locked, gently pull the tractor forward to check that the trailer is locked onto the tractor. Question number 108. Airlines on a combination vehicle are often colored to keep them from getting mixed up. The emergency line is, the service line is, A. Red, blue, B. Black, yellow, C. Blue, red. The correct answer is here, A. Red, blue. Explanation. To keep the airlines from being mismatched, they can be labeled with metal tags or color-coded. Blue is used for the service lines, and red is used for the emergency lines. Couple the airlines of the same color. Question number 109. In normal driving, some drivers use the hand valve before applying the brake pedal to prevent a jackknife. Which of these statements is true? A. It results in less skidding than using the brake pedal alone. B. It is the best way to brake and keep the truck in a straight line. C. It should not be done. The correct answer is here, C. It should not be done. Explanation. The trailer hand valve, also called the trolley valve or Johnson bar, works the trailer brakes. The trailer hand valve should be used only to test the trailer brakes. Do not use it in driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. Question number 110. At night, when a vehicle is carrying a load that extends 4 feet or more beyond the rear of the body, there must be at the extreme end of the load, A. Red flags, B. A red flag, C. Red lights. The correct answer is here, C. Red lights. Explanation. According to federal regulations, if the load projects more than 4 feet behind the rear of the vehicle, the end of the load must be marked as follows, open bracket, 1, with red flags, each 18 inches square, in the daytime, or 2, with 2 red lights at night. There are additional federal requirements on how to illuminate the rest of the load. Other states may impose their own additional requirements on the transportation of oversized loads. 49 CFR 393.11, 49 CFR 393.87. Question number 111. You are driving with double trailers and must use your brakes to avoid a crash. For emergency braking, you should A. Push the brake pedal as hard as you can and hold it there. B. Use only the trailer brakes. C. Use controlled or stab braking. The correct answers here. C. Use controlled or stab braking. Explanation. Hard braking and turning at the same time is likely to cause a skid. You should brake in a way that will keep your vehicle in a straight line and allow you to turn if it becomes necessary. If you need to brake suddenly to avoid a crash, use controlled braking or stab braking, but don't use stab braking if your vehicle has anti-lock brakes. Question number 112. You can confirm that air is going to all brakes in your trailers by A. Opening the emergency line shut-off valve at the rear of the last trailer and listening for air escaping. B. Confirming that the air pressure is at normal levels. C. Opening the emergency line shut-off valve and then the service line valve at the rear of the last trailer and listening for air escaping each time. The correct answers here. C. Opening the emergency line shut-off valve and then the service line valve at the rear of the last trailer and listening for air escaping each time. Explanation. To check whether air is flowing to all trailers, go to the rear of the last trailer and open the emergency line shut-off valve there. If the entire system is charged, you should hear air escaping. Then close that valve and open the service line valve again. You should hear air escaping. Question number 113. Why should you not use the trailer hand valve while driving? A. Because it won't work as well as the foot brake. B. Because you should use the parking brake. C. Because it is hard to reach. D. Because of the danger of making the trailer skid. The correct answers here. D. Because of the danger of making the trailer skid. Explanation. The trailer hand valve should be used only to test the trailer brakes. Do not use it in driving because of the danger of making the trailer skid. The foot brake sends air to all of the brakes on the vehicle, including the trailer. There is much less danger of causing a skid or jackknife when using just the foot brake. Question number 114. To prevent rollover, cargo should be A. Stacked as close to the front of the rig as possible. B. Stacked closest to the doors. C. Spread evenly across the rig and as low as possible. The correct answers here. C. Spread evenly across the rig and as low as possible. Explanation. More than half of truck driver deaths in accidents are the result of truck rollovers. The higher the truck's center of gravity, the more likely it is to roll over. If the cargo is to one side, it will make the trailer lean, which can also make a rollover more likely. To help prevent a rollover, spread your cargo evenly and keep it as low as possible. Drive slowly around curves and turns. Question number 115. What is off-tracking? A. Driving your truck off the road. B. Swerving on the road when you lose control of your steering. C. When truck trailers swing from side to side. D. When the rear wheels go a different path than the front wheels. The correct answers here. D. When the rear wheels go a different path than the front wheels. Explanation. A vehicle traveling in a straight line will have all the wheels following the steering wheels. When a vehicle goes around a corner, the rear wheels take a shortcut. This is called off-tracking. Cheating the last wheels off-track the most. Long trailers off-track more than short trailers. Question number 116. When you are uncoupling a loaded trailer, lower the landing gear until it A. Reaches the ground. B. Makes contact with the ground. and leave the trailer off the fifth wheel. C. Makes firm contact with the ground. The correct answer is here. C. Makes firm contact with the ground. Explanation. When uncoupling a loaded trailer, lower the landing gear until it makes firm contact with the ground. Then crank the landing gear in low gear for a few more turns, just enough to lift some weight off the tractor, but not so much that you lift the trailer off the fifth wheel. This will make it easier to unlatch the fifth wheel now and couple next time. Question number 117. What gear should the tractor engine be in after you uncouple the trailer and are inspecting the trailer supports? A. Neutral. B. High reverse. C. Low reverse. The correct answer is here. A. Neutral. Explanation. Before you inspect the trailer supports of the landing gear, secure the tractor by applying the parking brake and placing the transmission in neutral. Question number 118. An anti-lock braking system, ABS, is useful. A. Only if it is on the tractor. B. Only if it is on the tractor and all trailers. C. Whether it is on the tractor or the trailers. The correct answer is here. C. Whether it is on the tractor or the trailers. Explanation. ABS can help prevent wheel locking regardless of whether it's on the tractor, the trailer, or both. Question number 120. Combination vehicles take longer to stop when they are empty than when they fully loaded, because A. The center of gravity is lower. B. You're unlikely to brake as hard. C. There is less traction. The correct answer is here. C. There is less traction. Explanation. Trucks that are empty or only lightly loaded take longer to stop because the stiff suspension, springs and strong brakes give poor traction and make it easier to lock the wheels. Question number 121. What are glad hands? A. Devices that are used to connect the service airline to the relay valves. B. Devices that are used to supply air to the trailer air tanks. C. Devices that are used to fix service and emergency airlines. D. Coupling devices that connect the service line and emergency line from the truck tractor to the trailer S. The correct answer is here. D. Coupling devices that connect the service line and emergency line from the truck tractor to the trailer S. Explanation. Glad hands, also known as hose couplers, are coupling devices that connect the service and emergency airlines to the trailers from the truck tractor. Question number 122. If the brakes did not release when you push the trailer air supply valve, you should A. Check the airline connections. B. Check the electrical cables. C. Cross the airlines. The correct answer is here. A. Check the airline connections. Explanation. If you cross the emergency and service airlines, air will flow to the service line instead of the trailer air tanks. Air won't be available to release the spring brakes. Therefore, if the spring brakes don't release when you push the trailer air supply control, check the airline connections. Question number 123. Even before anti-lock braking systems, ABS, were required, some vehicles already had them. How can you check if your vehicle has ABS? A. Brake the vehicle on a slippery road and see if the wheels lock. B. Look under the vehicle for the ABS test light. C. Look under the vehicle for the EQ and wheel speed sensor wires coming from the back of the brakes. The correct answer here, C. Look under the vehicle for the EQ and wheel speed sensor wires coming from the back of the brakes. Explanation. You can tell if your vehicle has ABS by looking under the vehicle for the electronic control unit, EQ, and wheel speed sensor wires leading from the back of the brakes. Question number 124. What are the other names for the service airline? A. Curved line and signal line. B. Straight line and control line. C. Control line and signal line. The correct answer here, C. Control line and signal line. Explanation. The service airline is also known as the control line or signal line. Question number 125. When should you use chocks to park a trailer not equipped with spring brakes? A. Never. B. Only when it will be parked on an incline. C. Always. The correct answer here, C. Always. Explanation. If there is a leak in the emergency air line, air will eventually leak out of the trailer air tank. If the trailer has air brakes but not spring brakes, the brakes will fail. Use chocks to prevent the trailer from rolling if its brakes fail. Question number 126. You are coupling a semi-trailer to your tractor but have not yet backed under it. The trailer is at the right height if A. The kingpin is about 1.4 inches above the fifth wheel. B. The end of the kingpin is even with the top of the fifth wheel. C. It will be raised slightly when the tractor is backed under it. The correct answer here, C. It will be raised slightly when the tractor is backed under it. Explanation. Before backing the tractor under the trailer, adjust the landing gear to position the trailer at the proper height. The trailer should be just low enough that it will be raised slightly by the tractor when the tractor backs under it. If the trailer is too low, the tractor may hit and damage the trailer nose. If it's too high, it may not couple properly. Question number 127. On a double or triple vehicle, which wheels off-track the most? A. The rear wheels of the first trailer. B. The rear wheels of the tractor. C. The rear wheels of the last trailer. The correct answer here, C. The rear wheels of the last trailer. Explanation. Off-tracking is defined as the different paths taken by the front and rear wheels in a turn. The longer the vehicle, the greater the difference will be. Thus, the wheels on the front trailer will off-track more than the tractor's rear wheels, and the wheels on the rearmost trailer will off-track most of all. Question number 128. The best way to tell if your trailer has started to skid is to A. Feel for pulling in the cab. B. Hear the wheels skidding. C. See it in your mirrors. The correct answer here, C. See it in your mirrors. Explanation. The earliest way to notice that your trailer is jackknifing is to see it swinging out in your mirrors. Question number 129. What two brake systems should you check when inspecting the brake system in the cab? A. Parking and emergency brakes. B. Spring brakes and parking brakes. C. Spring and service brakes. D. Trailer service and trailer emergency brakes. The correct answer is here. D. Trailer service and trailer emergency brakes. Explanation. The two brakes that need to be checked when you inspect your brake system are the trailer emergency and trailer service brakes.